Hello, and welcome to my instructional video. My name is Dustin Holland. I'm a senior at the Florida State University majoring in Information Technology. In this video, I will be showing you how to use the Aircrack-ng suite to break a WEP encryption key. Because the information in this video requires a lot of technical knowledge and responsibility, there are a few prerequisites I must cover before we can get started. This information is not intended to be used in a malicious, destructive, or unlawful way. Intrusion into a network that you do not own is illegal and can carry criminal charges. The author bears no responsibility for the misuse of the information in this tutorial. The intended audience for this video is not the novice user. Before attempting this tutorial, viewers should be highly technical or security-minded, well-educated in wireless networking, familiar with Linux, and comfortable using the command line. The technical user will be familiar with all terminology in this tutorial with the possible exception of the initialization vector. To put it simply, the initialization vector is a block of bits that is required for a cipher to work in a number of different ways. For our purpose, an easy way to think of the initialization vector is as if it were a small hint of what the key might be. If you were trying to guess a password and you had a hint, the likelihood of guessing the correct password would not be very high. However, if you had over 100,000 hints and all of the hints were unique, your chances of guessing the correct password would be very high. That is precisely how we will be using the initialization vector in deciphering the encryption key. Throughout the video, the initialization vector will be referred to as IVs. First off, we need to put the card into monitor mode. This will allow it to hear all of the wireless traffic around. We do this by stopping and restarting the interface using the Airmon utility. With the card now in monitor mode, we can run arrow dump to find all of the access points within range. We can now see that there are 5 access points within range. The one we are interested in is called Aerosmith. It is on channel 8, and as you can see, it is using WEP encryption. Now that we know which access point we will be attacking, we want to stop and restart our wireless interface and isolate it on channel 8, the channel of our target AP. This isn't absolutely necessary, but it helps filter the amount of information on screen. In a new shell, restart arrow dump, only this time we will specify a channel and an access point to listen to. We specify channel 8 and then the MAC address of the target access point. We also define an output file to save collected IVs with the W option. I've chosen to call the file myIVs, but you can use any name you like. The next step is to set fake authentication with the access point. This is done with the AirReplay utility. We launch AirReplay in mode 1, which specifies a fake authentication attack, and we point it to the SSID and MAC address of the target access point. The H option tells AirReplay which interface we want to use to launch the attack. AirReplay lets you know when it is successfully associated with the access point. The next step is to run AirReplay in op request replay mode. Op request packets contain the initialization vectors we are looking for, so we want to generate as many of them as possible. In this mode, the program will listen for an ARP request packet from the access point, and when it hears one, continually retransmit it back. The access point will repeat the ARP request with a new IV. Once AirReplay hears an ARP request, we can see how many packets it has injected and at what rate. A quick look at the AeroDump window we opened earlier ensures that we are, in fact, collecting IVs. After we have collected around 100,000 packets, we are ready to attempt breaking the encryption. Launch Aircrack-ng with option Z, which invokes web cracking, specify the access point MAC address with option B, and tell what your capture file is called. In my case, the capture file is called myIVs. The program will work for a moment and, if you have collected enough IVs, reveal the deciphered hexadecimal encryption key. You can now use this key to connect to the access point. Thank you for taking the time to watch my video. I hope I was able to teach you some basic use of the Aircrack-ng suite and encourage you to think more seriously about IT security. For additional tutorials and resources, visit aircrack-ng.org. Thank you for your time.